Phantom of the Opera. I just was really attached to it. I first saw it on Broadway with Marnie Rabb as Christine. I'm sure that won't come up later. Like, if you had to say, like, something you've drawn, like, the most frequently for this project so far, what would that be?
Arnie, Rob, I guess
Okay, yeah,
all the
so for that
Christines.
one, yeah. Yeah, I did actually meet Marnie Rabb. Uh, what happened was I saw Phantom of the Opera, and Marnie Rabb was the Christine. And after the show, I went back to the stage door and I kept looking out for her. And, it was difficult because I was face blind and everybody kept coming out. And then I finally saw her and I didn't recognize her. And I went up to her and I said, "Were you the Christine?" And she said, "Yes." And maybe she was just tired that night or something, but she looked a little irritated by it, and I've never really lived that down because I feel as though I did her a disservice by not recognizing her because, she's a Christine. I should know what a Christine looks like, right? Like, just inherently. And I feel as though I might have ruined her life that night. But she probably doesn't remember it all. I hope.
I think is a comfort zone for me to draw at this point, where it's just easy to like find her shapes with my hand. That sounded weird. Um, like drawing wise.
I wish I could
And
find her shapes with my hands.
One, two, three, four. The world around me may have changed. The hate on me, I'm still the same. Still got all my bills to pay. Hey, I'm still making time to play. It's my day and I'm doing okay. I can make a difference in so many ways. It doesn't matter what happens to me, 'cause it's my choice to be happy.
Christine's relationship to Marnie Robb. So I've never really seen somebody who, I'm trying to think if love's the right word, idolizes somebody as much as Christine idolizes Marnie. But for Christine, Marnie transcends in like a religious way, I'd have to say.
Yeah, like a great love, but also a more intense fear than I think I've ever actually witnessed. I think obsession could be too harsh, but also kind of on the money.
They've thrown up looking at Marnie Robb's face, and I don't know how to define that at all. It's endearing in a way, but also I don't know what would happen if they were in the same room together.
Well, they probably wouldn't recognize her.
Face blindness.
Face blindness.
Yeah. That's true. But yeah, I think other than some of those things, mostly healthy. I think there's an appreciation for the art that Marnie does and her representation of Christine.
I'm sorry, Marty. I'm sorry.
But I know Christine, the inception here started when Christine was pretty young. And I think that might be where the idolization, like why it's a thing,
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll never forget when Christine introduced me to Marnie's performance as Christine. I remember listening to, how she delivered her lines and how she sang, and I remember saying, "Wow, she's so talented. I understand why you love her so much." And I remember Christine quickly stopping me and saying, "No, she's terrible."
And the wooden hands.
Yes, the wooden
Always
hands.
bringing up the wooden hands.
Christine only mentioned Marty Robb about 3,678 million bajillion times, and they said that they were the biggest fan on earth, but also that she hated her. But she also loved her. But she hated her. And she loved her.
I think Marnie's a cool Christine, but again, I don't know the deeper level that Christine feels.
No, I think there could be a darkness there.
Yeah, I think so.
Christine's relationship with Marnie Rabb is kind of like how a bird loves the sky, but also how a parasitic plant wraps itself around a host tree. How George Lucas nailed the imperialist allegory of his Star Wars films, but also defaced them with shitty computer-generated dinosaurs. It's kind of beautiful.
One time Christine said that they wanted to drink Marnie Robb's diarrhea like a milkshake. Do with that information as you will.
There's a lot going on there. I wish I knew what any of it meant.
So Kristen's relationship with Marnie Rabb is kind of like a cross between like a Blorbo character obsession and like a celebrity crush and like a chew toy and like some kind of earth mother goddess or like something like that.
Oh, has Christine ever mentioned Marnie Rabb?
A lot.
Cool. What kind of things have they mentioned about Marnie Rabb?
And this is where you have the joke of I start talking and then it's just that sort of and it's just the technical difficulty sign where it's implied that I'm saying all sorts of horrendous, horrific, perhaps raunchy things, but you don't get to hear any of them because there's that technical difficulty sign.
Oh God, yeah. Once Christine told me that they wanted to bathe in Marnie Robb's menstrual blood. Completely unprompted. Yeah.
Kristen at the same time wants to chew Marnie Rabb's arm and fuck her and wants to dress her up in pretty outfits and put her on stage and make her perform for their entertainment. And probably harbors some kind of fantasy of being shoved inside of her vagina, like entirely, like as a person, like top to bottom, just like on birth kind of thing. And that's not me speculating, they've said that.
No, I never said that. Now, I know this isn't true because I don't know Marnie personally, but I kind of view her as a stern, cold, distant figure. Like my mother.
So I sent Kristen that clip of me talking about how they felt about Marnie Rabb, and I mentioned how they wanted to climb into Marnie Rabb's vagina, and they said, "Do I really say that?" And I just want to put it on the official record that Kristen mentions Marnie Rabb's vagina on such a regular basis that I'm beginning to develop like a sixth sense for when they're about to start talking about it. I would say probably 3.5 times per hour when we're watching any given piece of media is how often they'll bring up Marnie Rabb's vagina. I want you to understand this is constant.
Okay, well, if you have proof of me saying any of these things, I'd like to see it.
What would you want the giant Marnie Rabb to do to you?
I would climb into her mouth, and I would just, touch her teeth so gently, and her tongue would, fold over me several times, and I would and she would digest me. She would swallow me, and I would come out her. Well, wait a minute. The mouth is not connected to the vagina, so I guess she'd poop me eventually.
This is good. This is good or neutral or.
I don't like poop.
Okay.
But Marty Rab, I would maybe eat her poop.
I'm sorry, Marty. I'm sorry I said such horrible things. I wouldn't eat your poo. I don't even like poo.
We'll go to Epic Universe, we'll invite Marty Rab, we'll say, hey Marty Rab, you want to go to Epic Universe for free? All you have to do is fuck us both in the anus.
Yeah, there you go.
And then we'll do it, Amy. Chin.
So, a few nights ago, Kristen's drinking kind of came to a head, and it kind of got a little bit, actually, like a lot worse than it usually is. Like it's usually pretty bad, but like this time, was kind of beyond the pale. I almost don't want to repeat what they said, but what they said was something like, I'm kind of worried about them, like, more than I have been before. I think it's maybe time for them to finally get some professional help.
God damn it. It happened on Scarecrow night, didn't it? Yeah, so we all got together and watched the Scarecrow, and I don't remember much of it. I was pretty drunk.
Woo! I love the Scarecrow! Shit. This bottle was full this morning.
This might be a low point for me. So I've been diagnosed with something called LUDS, aka Lesbian Werewolf Drunkenness Syndrome. Basically what it means is that every time I get drunk, I do these things that, I don't know, maybe it's part of me, but I would say for the most part it's horrific actions that I don't really control. This would include maybe lusting after women to a degree that's inappropriate, and biting off their noses. Yeah, so I feel I have a propensity toward Victorian women, especially brunettes. So with the Christine specifically, I'm kind of like a bull in a candy store. But I have a solution for this. Since I'm unwilling to stop drinking, I have acquired a gun. Yeah, so basically if I get really, really out of control, I can shoot myself. Oh, hang on. Oh, God. I think his torso fell off again. Can you confirm?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Can you just reach under the seat and see if you can find him? He kind of pops off sometimes.
What is this little dude? Where are you, little dude? Oh! This is interesting.
Oh, you should probably put that back.
Oh, okay.
Guns are obviously very dangerous, but I have learned the 4 rules of gun safety. Number 1, always treat a gun as though it's loaded. And this one is always loaded, so, you know, that I don't have to remember that, really. The other ones, I kind of forget them, but it's fine. The city is so fucking ugly. I mean, it's where I grew up, but, it's kind of horrendous. Oh my God, playground zone again. Ugh. Playground zones in the city. That's my complaint. It's really, you know, like, how many children are there? How many children do you need, really? I don't think I'm gonna have children. I think I had a bad childhood, and so I wouldn't want to do that to someone else. But in other news, Amy gets back from the Middle East soon.
Oh.
Yeah. That is a real place, apparently.
The Middle East.
Yeah. I'm not really good at geography. McLeod South I'm trying to get on, but okay. Let me in, buddy. No, you're letting me in, fucker. I like Amy a lot. She goes on a lot of business trips for me. You know, just to scout Shout out talents. Oh shit, I gotta get gas. These gas prices are ridiculous. I guess it's not as bad as the States.
I think there's a war in Israel.
Where's that?
Middle East?
Oh. So it's not just one country?
No.
Okay, wait, explain it again. Yeah, it's not been easy dealing with my sexuality in this way. I guess I suppressed it for so long that it kind of came bubbling up in a really nasty and perverse fashion. I do worry about Marnie Rabb sometimes. I think she wouldn't be happy about everything I've said. And I hope she never finds out.
Hello, this is Marnie, and you reached my voicemail. Please leave a message.
Not that anyone watches these videos anyway. That's the car wash that betrayed me. We really should have clearer instructions on how to use it. Oh, god damn it. Oh, shit. I don't think I'm gonna make it this round. Too many cars. I guess one thing to factor into this is that I am a lesbian. And, you know, although I'm kind of closeted now, I am trans. And obviously there's a whole lot of stuff that people say about queer folks. Particularly there's the predatory lesbian trope. And obviously they accuse trans people of being groomers all the time. Who knows? Maybe I did groom 51-year-old Marnie Rabb, who's old enough to be my mother. But she's not my mother.
Every movie star has 4 queer children? And yet we never saw any of that in my generation, nor are people of my generation.
Yeah, because they were repressed.
No, they're not repressed, Kristen. This is a trend.
Yeah, I do often get that question. How can you be both non-binary and a lesbian? And, I mean, like, yeah, that's like level 1 queer. I don't know how people don't get it, but I am.
So tell me about your childhood some more. What was so horrendous about it?
My mother wasn't very nice. I had to run away from her once. Actually, I went to that travel lodge right there. I say I ran away from her once. I ran away from her a few times, but one of the most recent times was there. That wasn't my most recent visit to that travel lodge. They have a really good water slide. I didn't get to go last time. I didn't get to go, but it was fun. When I ran away from my mom, I went on that water slide a few times, and they had a nice breakfast there with really fluffy pancakes, hard-boiled eggs. I took a photo of it. I don't have Instagram, so I didn't put it there, but I look at that pancake sometimes and it makes me happy. I had to go home after that though, because you know you can't live in a hotel, it's really expensive. And then one time when I tried to run away, I lived in my car for a bit in Drumheller. I took up a job at the Walmart there, and I drove 2 hours every night. I had to come back into Calgary to get my stuff, and yeah, it wasn't a fun childhood. Another thing that I don't really talk about is that I came out as a lesbian after my grandma died. I remember at her funeral, they said she had this phrase that she was always saying, ever forward, meaning no matter what happens to you, you have to just keep going. And I kind of live by that. I never heard her say it. I thought her catchphrase was, don't tell your parents. Her secondary catchphrase was, if you do this, I will buy you a cool dinosaur toy. I got a whole nother bucket of them somewhere. I don't look at them a lot. I do like dinosaurs. Yeah, I don't know if my fucked up childhood was part of what made me queer. I think I always was queer, if I had to guess, but, if anything, my fucked up childhood was what made me feel I wasn't queer, because, well, I don't know, when you get raped by a lot of women, you start to think, oh, maybe I don't like sex with women, when really you just don't like being raped. I wrote an
I don't remember much of it. I just kind of got flashes of it. Yeah. I don't really like hospitals or like pharmacies, anything like that. My ex-husband actually worked at a pharmacy. He was kind of a piece of shit. I don't know why I got married. That was a bad idea.
I am very much certain that I don't like penis, though. I've never been attracted to penis. I've never enjoyed being raped by penises. And if I had consensual sex with a penis, I wouldn't enjoy that either. But then again, I would never consent to having sex with penis. So, we'll never know.
It's a hard thing because, you know, you're not supposed to settle. But on the other hand, a finger on the hand is worth two in the bush. So I guess that's why I never ended up with a woman.
Actually, I got married in the mouth of a dinosaur. The night before that, some shit went down at the Travel Lodge on McLeod. The next day, we went to Drumheller, got married in the mouth of a dinosaur, got a lot of cool dinosaur toys from that too. And then the next night, we got back and we watched Disney's Dinosaur. And I remember thinking, thank God you didn't rape me 2 days in a row.
What you need is a little help from below, monkey.
Dinosaur.
If there's one thing to be taken from all of this, it's that I never want to make anyone feel the way people made me feel.
Hello everyone, I've called you here today for a special meeting. I have something prepared. I would not like to eat Marnie Rob's poop. I am not going to swallow her teeth one by one and feel them rattle around in my stomach. I'm not going to put a hose in her mouth and fill her up with water until she goes glub, glub, glub. I'm not going to force her to learn Chinese so that she can sexually degrade me in Chinese so that I know I'm being hurt, but I don't know what she's saying. I do not want her to do the thing the old man does to Woody in Toy Story 2. I do not want her to wrap me up in a web and suck the blood out of me like a spider. And I do not want to turn her into a donkey and send her to the salt mines. All of these things I will not do because as of today, I have decided to be 100% sober. No, I mean it. I'm gonna be sober for sure this time. Amy, I got drunk again by accident.
Who could have seen this coming?
I was trying so hard to be sober, but I will get sober. And in 6 weeks' time. Ah! Hi, Axel. I'm back again.
Hey.
I'm sober again for a few days now, and I have some more things to say. Okay. I am not going to do the sexual version of a turducken on Marnie Rab. I am not going to go down on her nasty like a total pig. I am not going to follow her into the woods as we both shift into foxes and then pummel her from behind as a fox. I am not going to force her to do the underwater ballet from Believe at SeaWorld Orlando. I am not going to do the reverse Dutch flour mill Western style. I don't even know what that is. I might have made it up. But, yeah, I think this time it's really gonna stick, Axel. I'm going to be sober.
Okay. I'm glad.
You're laughing.
I'm sorry. Some of those were new to me.
They were new to me too. But listen, I can't be this much of a lesbian anymore. I respect Marnie Rab too much, first of all. I don't want to scare her. I know that nobody watches these videos, but I don't know, if she stumbled across it, I don't think I could live with myself. She'd be fucking terrified, Axel. She's this big professional woman. She works in theater. She's probably never seen a gay person in her life.
The funny and kind of sad thing is, as gross as all of this behavior is, it's really no different from what they get from an average man at the stage door. You know, they're famous enough to have followings, but they're not high profile enough to have really devoted security guards, with some exceptions. And that's just a scary place to be. It's a scary feeling knowing that there are people who lust after you and you have no defense against them.
Alright, so listen. I myself may not be a lesbian, but my parents sure are, and a lot of my friends are gay as hell and happen to be female, so lesbians. But it's not normal for them to be eating noses. I wouldn't say that's part of their diet. I would not say that is a staple of the lesbianic pyramid food group.
I deeply regret what I did to Colleen. I'm sure it wasn't fun having her nose bitten all the way off, but I did it out of love. I would say that she is my second most respected Christine, next to. But at the end of the day, it wasn't okay, and I can acknowledge that. That's why I'm going to go where all of the sex pests go to get help. I don't really know if it's a sin, but I have been gaining pleasure from bootleg footage of Marnie Rab. Is that wrong?
I don't know what that's about.
Oh, it's just, I just think she's really pretty.
That's the only thing, or?
I guess so. I sped through a playground zone on the way here, but I think that's just a strictly legal thing.
You should come to church today.
Well, I don't know. I've been gaining a lot of pleasure from Marnie Rab, and I guess I felt bad about it. I felt bad about it because she doesn't know.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't worry about that.
Okay.
Okay, have a good day.
For sure. Thank you, Papa. Yeah, so we're heading out now to the bottle depot. And, oh my god, it's so bright. Yeah, my windshield cracked again. I was getting my mirror fixed, and I hit someone on the way out, so that's not good. Yeah, so we'll be getting a little bit of money from the bottle depot. That'll be good. This is just between you and me, but sometimes I think about Marnie Rab and about how she's like I know in my heart, like she's a human being, you know, who, like, her life has probably not been perfect either. But I see her doing all the things that I wish that I could do. And I just think, why couldn't I even have just a fraction of that, you know?
Yeah, I get that. It's
I just
hard.
and it's because I don't even know her. For all I know, she's miserable and like, but I don't know. I think the reason I like Marnie so much is because I like she's kind of awesome, but she also kind of sucks. And I feel like I don't know, that's how I feel about myself sometimes, is that it's hard for me to see the goodness in myself. And so when I see Marnie Rab and she's like, I think she's like, I hate her singing. I can't stand the sound of it. But
That's true.
it's
And
true.
you hate her hands, her
And her
wooden
fucking
hands.
wooden hands. But I even so, I look at her and I just have these conflicting emotions, and I don't know, it does something to me, you know?
I think it's good to at least think about some of these things and, like, think about why is it that she makes you feel that way. And it's like, even if you can't find the proper answer or the words or anything, I don't think it's bad to have somebody or something in your life that, you know, can kind of be something like that for you. Like, not an idol, but like I can't think of another word. It's like something that's there to think about. 'Cause it's like makes you feel so many different. I think that that's cool, even if not all the things are positive.
I think Marnie Rab fills the hole in my life that religion would otherwise fill.
Yes, honestly. It's like it's the same kind of a thing where it's like, not gonna love every part of it. And sometimes it makes you throw up.
Sometimes that I threw up so much that day. I threw up so much. It was a little bit the absinthe too, I have to say. I was drunk as fuck. But she
Yeah, but I do
scared me.
remember it was such an instant reaction when it started.
No, yeah. Well, the absinthe didn't
There
help,
she
but Marnie was the
was,
trigger.
and then yeah, there she was, and there was the bomb.
Yep. God forbid I ever see her in real life again.
I think you'll go through every conceivable emotion.
I might just die on the spot.
Yeah, that might just be it. And then we'll have to put on your tombstone. Arnie Robb did it.
But I I still wonder about the stage door, and like I in my heart I know she doesn't hate me personally, and it's not like it's not about that. But I just wonder why she looked so sour that night. If she had a bad day, if she was tired, if there was something about me that did it. I don't know.
Sense the criticisms. Maybe you had a face on and just matched that expression. Like, what if she was mirroring you?
I doubt that. In any
You might have been
case,
just looking at her and thinking, "Oh my God, I'm gonna bark."
maybe. Well, I didn't. The funny thing is, back then, I remember when I saw her. I was with my mother, and I over intermission we went down to like wait in line in the bathroom, and we looked in the program, and she said like, who's the Christine? And I looked and I said Marnie Rab, and that's the first I saying her name. Like I don't know why, but her name was what stuck in my head when I remembered all those years later that it absolutely was her who was my first Christine. And
I mean, it's a just.
it's a distinct name. It's a distinct name, but I guess yeah. But I remember my mother said to me, she's like, what do you think of her? And I thought in my head, she looks exactly like Christine looks. And what came out of my mouth was like, she's really not that good, or something along those lines. Um, and I think it's just the dichotomy of that is something very strange about that. Um, Something very very strange, and I wasn't even that jazzed to meet her at the stage door, so maybe that's why. Like maybe I was just kind of unimpressed with her, and she reflected that back at me.
Yeah, my guess is that you came in with just the energy of what is this? This is
But
some person.
you know what's funny is like I was excited for everyone at this. Like I got everyone who came out of the door to autograph my program, including like the orchestra, all of the little ballerinas, all of the stagehands too when they left. And I just anyone who was involved in it, and then it came to her, and like she was different, you know. There was something. There was something like some kind of energy there, and long story short, I think that's what led to this Freudian complex.
Yeah, I think so. Something happened that day.
Yeah, I think it did.
It's okay though, really. At the end of the day, as hard as it is to push all of this stuff down, I managed to do it. And with no consequences.